Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome to our end of 8-year partnership event. Today is Friday, 11th of March. Thank you for joining us for this special occasion. So in honor of International Women's Day, today we are celebrating 8 years of partnership with Deutsche Bank by looking back at the impact of the Student to STEMet Deutsche Bank program and the impact it has had on young women and non-binary people since 2014. So it's a big day for us. It's a bittersweet day, and we're here all reunited to celebrate the amazing achievements of the program. So thank you for joining us again. So Deutsche Bank ran their last STS program from October to February, ending February this year, bringing to an end a very important partnership, both for mentees and for us at STEMets. Today, we will hear from Deutsche Bank, their mentors, and their mentees on how this program has impacted their lives, careers, and well-being. Since 2020, this program has been delivered 100% virtually due to the pandemic. So we've adapted very well with sort of the pandemic and the lockdowns that were happening. Before that, everything was happening physically. But yes, it's been run 100% virtually since 2020. So maybe before we get started, I'll just take us through the agenda for the day. Thank you very much. So we will shortly hear a quick message from Deutsche Bank. I will then move on to the overview of the partnership. So tell you a little bit more about the partnership and what it has looked like over the past 8 years. We'll then hear from mentees and mentors. They'll give us some speeches and share their thoughts of the program and their experiences. We'll then follow that up with some video messages and quotes of those people that couldn't make it today. And we will then take some questions, share some final words, and end at 2 p.m. to let you enjoy the rest of your afternoon as well. So thank you. Without further ado, we will now share a message from Deutsche Bank, from our contact at Deutsche Bank, Sheridan Lay, who has been managing the program on Deutsche Bank's end. So I'll let our producer share that video with us now. Thank you.
Manager at Deutsche Bank, and I'm responsible for overseeing the Student to STEMet program. Student to STEMet is one of our flagship mentoring programs within our youth engagement program, Born to Be. Born to Be reaches over 100,000 young people aged 11 to 18 in state secondary education, aiming to help them build the skills needed for 21st century employment and to help improve social mobility. For those of you who are not familiar with Student to STEMet, the program was co-founded by Deutsche Bank and STEMets in 2014, with the aim of inspiring women into working and studying in STEM. The mentorship program matches young women with an interest in STEM with women in the industry, including Deutsche Bank employees, to provide a role model and industry insights. We all know that men make up the vast majority of the STEM workforce, and through our partnership with STEMets, we've aimed to help promote the STEM workforce as a welcoming environment for people other than men. There are countless opportunities open to young women. However, those in the most underrepresented groups have little or no access to networks and information. We therefore feel it is vitally important to offer young women from low socioeconomic backgrounds with low STEM capital and those from ethnic minorities a foot in the door to understand what is available to them. Alongside the mentorship, students are also able to develop employability and entrepreneurial skills, as well as confidence, through a number of events that happen throughout their program. Together, we aim to build resilience within the students at a crucial time in their educational journey. The one-to-one support offered from a mentor in the industry can be invaluable to the students, which has been proven year after year in our graduation events. Over the last 8 years of our partnership with STEMets, the program has matched almost 450 students with mentors. with Deutsche Bank employees volunteering more than 2,000 hours of their time to the mentorship program, which is a fantastic achievement that will have a positive impact for many years to come. A key objective in all of our Born to Be programs is to improve mental well-being for young people. Programs like Student to STEMet offer these young women a safe space to develop skills in a new virtual environment that will set the students up for the future hybrid working world model. The confidence
I think we're having some issues
that comes from building these skills and connecting with peers and creating networks that can possibly help shape a career could not be more important. I recently spoke with one of our mentors from our current cohort and asked her why she decided to sign up as a mentor. She said that as a young woman, she did not have a mentor figure that could help guide her career choices, and she'd felt lucky to have ended up in a career path that she enjoyed so much. Having gone through the process, she understood that not everybody in her position would have found the opportunities that she did, particularly when you're part of an underrepresented group. So when she joined DB and found the Student to STEMet program, it was the perfect opportunity to make a real change in the community and provide a young person with the support she found invaluable herself. At the end of each of our programs, our volunteers always report a positive impact for themselves, and they also report a personal sense of satisfaction from providing real-life career advice and helping young women to develop the skills they need, knowing that they are playing a part in driving change towards more representation in the workforce. It's a program that both Deutsche Bank and STEMet can be incredibly proud of. So, on a final note, I'd like to round up by saying that our partnership with STEMet has allowed Deutsche Bank to reach a specific set of young women who are most in need of support. We've been a proud partner of STEMet and have been so happy to watch the program grow over the years. Student to STEMet has helped young women plan for the future, and it's also helped Deutsche Bank employees to develop their own skills in terms of leadership and personal communication skills that will ultimately make them better managers and better employees in the future. So with that, I would like to say a huge thank you to everybody that's been involved, and we wish STEMet all of the best with the future of their Student to STEMet programs. We know that you will continue to shape the lives of many going forward. So thank you very much.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that heartwarming message from Deutsche Bank. Thank you, Sheridan. So just to sort of pick up on what Sheridan just shared, I'm going to now give you an overview of the Student to STEMet program and how it has worked so far over the 8 years of the partnership. So the Student to STEMet program consists of one-on-one women-led mentorship and non-binary led mentorship for young women and non-binary people for the ages between 15 and 25. It includes lots of role models and inspiration throughout the program. 1 hour of virtual mentoring every fortnight for 4 months. That's sort of our generic schedule that the mentees and the mentors have been sort of arranging themselves. So we don't have a set hour during the 2 weeks. It can be at any point throughout 2 weeks. with then exclusive events that also go into that. So we've had we've had loads of CV workshop events, mock interview sessions, networking nights for both mentees and mentors. So plenty of different things happening throughout the program alongside the one-to-ones. And then we also end the program with the graduation ceremony, goodie bags for all of our participants, and certificates of participation as well. The mentees then have continued access to events and volunteering opportunities that also applies to the mentors. And that is basically the STS program in a nutshell. So the programs were sponsored by DB as part of their Born to Be youth engagement program as well. If we could get the next slide up, please. Thank you. Yes, so it's all been done in partnership with Born to Be, the Deutsche Bank Youth Engagement Program. So again, shout out and thank you to the Born to Be program. And if we could get the next slide, we'll get a better overview of what's been happening with the partnership since 2014. So the total number of actual beneficiaries supported by the Deutsche Bank funding since 2014, so the 8 years in progress, have been 449. So we have actually accelerated 449 mentees throughout the mentorship program. Those that were mentored by Deutsche Bank mentors only were 237 of them, and mentored by non-Deutsche Bank mentors 212. That's what makes up the total number. Now we've got 4,288 minimum hours of mentorship in total, with 2,192 minimum hours of mentorship with Deutsche Bank mentors. So that is the numbers that we've got, which are very impressive across 8 years. It's been a long time in progress. Amazing. Thank you. Can we move on to the next slide? We've got some more statistics on that as well. Thank you. So we have put together 3,620 events over 4-month cohorts. So that's the number that you see on the right. We have also done 1,740 hours of events attended by 2020 cohort mentees. So that's just the 2020 cohort mentees, which is really, really impressive. 5,360 hours of events provided across the whole 8 years. And we had 2,740 hours of events provided by Deutsche Bank mentors. So there's a lot of time that has been put into the mentorship program run by Deutsche Bank and Stemets. Yeah, this is amazing. I am actually stunned by these numbers myself. It's lovely to celebrate them all with you as well. Great. Could we get the next slide, please? Thank you. We've got some more information on, I think, the numbers for the volunteers, for the mentors. If I could get the next slide. Awesome, thank you. So we had a total of 4,932 volunteering hours by Deutsche Bank mentors. So this is the time that Deutsche Bank employees have put into this program. And again, thank you so much for all this time that's been put into our young people on the program. So this has included mentoring and employability skills events, the Grace Hopper Conference. So we've ran visits to the conference in the US for 4 consecutive years. We've then also done a visit to Dreamforce. We've had a total of 25 mentee winners that went on to these life-changing conference trips. So we had a 2014 one in Arizona, 2016 in Texas, the 2017 one was Dreamforce, and then we followed by Texas and Florida before the pandemic. And those were all amazing trips attended by these winners. And I'm sure that we'll hear some experiences from those trips a little bit later in the hour as well. So thank you. Next slide, please. Thank you. So mentees gained lots of things from the program. So each mentee got a minimum of 8 hours of mentorship and a minimum of 10 event hours provided over the 4 months. All of that has led to an increase in confidence, invitations to industry events, the confidence to go into STEM, as a professional, as a young professional starting in the industries, the confidence in applying for opportunities, presentation experiences for everyone, an audience with so we've actually had lots of different presentation experiences and opportunities for people to do some public speaking. So we've had an audience with Michelle Obama and an afternoon with Tim Peake, which are some of the highlights that we've sort of put together as experiences for the mentees. There's been lots of job offers involved, a lot of uni offers that have come through the program, and we've all sort of celebrated together apprenticeship course offers, work experience, and then of course an enhanced STEM network that continues to grow with each hour that was dedicated to this program. Next slide, please. Thank you. Now, the mentors have provided us with lots of different things, like the connections with their STEM professional network, the support to build a CV LinkedIn page that was done through the different ad hoc sessions throughout the STS program, support to grow in self-confidence, advice and experiences. Mentors help mentees improve their core skills, such as time management, verbal communication, interview skills, self-reflection skills. They also offered support with their students and applications, whether it's job applications or university applications, support to build their research skills as well as that, and also provided friendly and non-biased viewpoints, which have always created a safe space for everyone to develop and grow. And of course, above all, a role model to a young mind. So again, lots of different things have come together to then make this positive impact on a young person's life, on so many different people's lives, actually, that we'll hear from in a second as well. Amazing. I think it is actually time for us to now hear from some of the people that have been on our programs. So without further ado, I'm going to get into that. So we have got, I think, first a few speakers that are here live with us today. We are first hearing from Laiba Khan, who has been a mentee on the program. So Laiba, I'm going to let you sort of take over. And after that, we will hear from Emily Wyatt, who is a Deutsche Bank mentor, Orlan Dumbe, who's been a mentee, Sumya Singh, who also was a Deutsche Bank mentor, and then finish off with Sauda Onanuga, who has been a mentee on the program. So I will let Laiba take it away, and we'll hear from the rest as well after. Thank you. Sorry, I've just heard that Laiba is not here at the moment. So we're going to go straight into Emily, who is our Deutsche Bank mentor. Hi, Emily. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Awesome. So can you tell us a little bit more about your experience and how has it been to, participate in the Deutsche Bank Student System Ed program with us?
Yeah, so I joined for 2 STEM cohorts now as a mentor. My first experience was I was mentoring a lady from who was in her second year of university, interested in software engineering as well. So it was really good because she was interested in what I was already working in, which was really helpful for her. And we had a really great time. This was like right in the heart of the pandemic as well. She was actually based in Venezuela as well, which was really interesting. I got to see a completely different culture. It was like very eye-opening for me, especially seeing another country during the pandemic, kind of putting things into perspective for myself. And we had a really great time. We were thinking about summer internships, working on applications, working on interview practice, and eventually it ended up with a successful result. My mentee successfully got a summer job at Kubernetes. So that was a really great, like, it was I was so proud to be part of that accomplishment. So yeah, that was like my first cohort. And then my most recent one, which was the last one that we just had, I was mentoring a woman who was in year 13. So she was interested in university. She was interested in specifically motorsport engineering, which was completely different from what I was doing. And I really enjoyed that. We did a lot of research sessions, researching what to put in personal statements, really got to grips with like the ins and outs of the engineering side, which was really, really cool. I learned lots from her. She was really fascinated in the subject, which just was really nice to see. We also realized that, you know, motorsport engineering was such a desperately underrepresented area for women. So that kind of really just spurred us on. We got to get you in there. So yeah, we were doing a lot of work on personal statements, a lot of work on CVs and interview skills, just in general. And yeah, we managed to produce a really good personal statement. So that was really great. And I mean, she was in the year group where, you know, they didn't do their GCSE exam, so she was going into year 13 having never sat a formal exam, and that must have been very nerve-wracking. So yeah, I really admired her and her determination, and I just really loved working alongside her. So yeah, I'd say like both of my experiences have really helped develop my mentoring skills. I had to become quite adaptable to my mentees. They were completely different in completely different stages of their lives, and now I feel like I'm putting that to use in my day job. We have an apprentice in our team who I feel like I'm an effective mentor to him as a result of this program. Yeah, and it's definitely helped me in general with my interview and like CV writing skills, because like practice makes perfect. So now I've done it with 2 other people. Yeah, I've had a really good, I feel like that's been really useful for me as well, just to keep me up to date. So yeah, no, I just want to thank everyone in the STEMETS team. We had such an amazing time, and yeah, I really look forward to all of my mentor meetings and all of the events that we put on. So yeah, thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your kind words, Emily. That was amazing. And I feel like the most, what I really got away from your words is that you've also actually learned lots yourself. So not only have you provided lots of insight and knowledge to the mentees, but I feel like you've also developed and grown yourself, which I'm assuming, I guess, correctly.
Yeah, no, 100%. I feel like I got just as much out of it as the mentees. So yeah, it was just a great positive scheme for everyone, really.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for sharing your experiences. And I hope that you keep in touch with your mentees, and and that it also keeps you sort of growing and developing, like you said, in your own role at Deutsche Bank. So thanks. Awesome, Emily. Thank you. We're going to move on to hear from another mentee now. So this was a mentor. Now we're hearing from Orlan. Hi, Orlan. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good. Lovely to see you. I'm going to let you take it away with sort of your take on, your time with Deutsche Bank on this program. And then, we've got about 5 minutes. I'll ask you some questions at the end as well. So feel free to let us know what your experience has been like.
Cool. It was 6 years ago now, actually. So I did it in my first year. Well, I started technically in year 13, the period between summer and starting first year of university. So a while ago, I actually had to do exams back then. So my mentor, Yvette, she was really amazing. So she worked in risk, and I was at that time, I mean, still I guess in some ways unsure about like what I wanted to do in the future. So I was going to study chemistry, and I did do chemistry, but at that time I didn't really know what sort of options I wanted to do post university. And so I got involved into this STS program so that I can just be exposed to something different, and also because I'm quite introverted, to also learn a bit more about like how to step out of like my shell and stuff. And I think one thing that I really enjoyed about the STS program was the part where you had to do something and we had to do something that was, I guess, stepping out of my comfort zone. And for that I went into a school and taught like a class of like year 4s. I was studying in Manchester, so I went to a random school and said, hey, can I just like teach a class on like how to get into like how to share that STEM is for everyone. And so I got like a couple of my friends that I just made in this first year and said, hey, let's go to this like random school and teach them. And that was really cool. I was really interested in science communication and got like even more involved in STEMettes and like started helping out there every summer since until I graduated. And I mean, now I'm a software engineer technically and a software engineer apprentice, so doing something completely different. But yeah, doing this STS program with my mentor definitely helped me realize that life isn't lateral. Things do like flow, and that's okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Orlan. And do you have a message maybe that you'd like to share maybe with your ex mentor, who may be watching this today or rewatching in the past? Like, is there anything that you'd like to share with them in particular after 6 years now?
Yeah, like I guess just thank you. I think back then I was even like more turbulent than I am now, so like it must have taken a lot of like grace to just like be patient with me. So yeah, she's the one who like helped me create a LinkedIn, because like back then I was like, no, I don't want to network, like I just want to be by myself. So like yeah, I would just say thank you for like forcing me to do that. And um yeah, like realizing the power of networking and the importance of like, putting yourself out there is definitely something that I'm still learning and still doing till like right now. So yeah.
Amazing. But it does seem like it was a great kickstart to sort of, yeah, positive encouragement and also like boosting your confidence. And I mean, it's been amazing as well. Like, as someone that has worked at STEM, it's like it's amazing to see your growth and how you've developed over the years. And I know that this has also been one of the pivotal things that have helped you with that. So thank you for sharing your experience today. And I think we're going to move on to the next person as well. So thanks, Orlan, for that. Awesome. Next up, we will hear from Sumya, who is actually a Deutsche Bank mentor. Hi, Sumya. How are you?
Hi, Julia. I'm good, thanks.
Awesome. Do you want to share your experience of the program with us?
Sure. So I had the opportunity to be a Sherpa to three wonderful Sherpies, and all of them very driven, really good at what they were doing. But each one of them came with their unique needs and personalities, which I think is one of the best parts about being a mentor. Like Emily mentioned, so they come from all different walks of life. And similarly for mine, the very first one was interested in computer science, and that's the area I work in. So that was fantastic. But then she was quite young. So I had to tailor all the content to her understanding. I cannot just throw things at her as I understand them. And then the second one was interested in a completely different area. She was going to study electrical engineering at uni. And then the third one was also quite young. I think she was just 14. And she came and told me that she had not even decided on a career, but what she needed the most was help with building confidence. So that was a thing that I've not done on any of the mentorship programs that I've taken part in before. So there obviously were overlaps. We worked on mock interviews, on CVs and LinkedIn's and things like that. But I enjoyed the challenge of bringing something different to the table. And most importantly, one of the things that I learned, that it is okay for a mentor to not have answers to all the questions all the time. And this is where our network steps in. So we talk about the benefits of networking. So it obviously benefits them. And in the process, I also learned so much and met new people. So some of them being the fellow Sherpas from the cohort. So for instance, for my second mentee, she was able to find the perfect match in terms of what she was going to study in another Sherpie, but that was amazing, and that way I got to connect with her as well. But another thing that amused me was our ability to adapt to all these changing circumstances. So except the first couple of meetings, all three of my sessions were held remotely, and despite that, they were so young, yet they were so focused. I mean, when I was their age, I had the attention span of a 3-year old, and I still do, to be fair. And just like as the final few comments, one of the things that mentorship helped me was to evaluate how well I understand my area, because I'm still fairly early in my career. So to be able to truly articulate uh, and see if I really understand what I do, I think there's no one better than having young people who don't really have a knowledge of all these esoteric terms, and you can explain them, okay, this is what we do, and see if they understand. And the last thing that I want to say is, one of the things that I love about these mentorship programs is, and especially reflecting on my own experience when I was younger, is that there is no dearth of talent or ability in all these women, but what can really help is just reassurance and encouragement, and role models here can play a very important role, because it's not that anybody has told them that they cannot do anything, but we all need that little push, or just someone that we can emulate, and they realize that, okay, the skills I have, the way I'm working, that's perfectly fine, there's nothing lacking in me, and they do not say they do not lose the confidence when they enter an environment that still might be a very male dominated or having people of very different personalities. So I think this is where programs like these definitely help a lot, and I would encourage everyone to be a part of these.
It seems like, I think there's this theme of like positive validation in what you're saying, and what I'm hearing is like there's that positive validation that comes from you to the mentor, to the mentee, but then also vice versa, you get it back as well.
Yeah.
And actually, just a question to sort of and finish up with you, I wanted to ask you, do you feel that the program had any impact on your mental health or your well-being?
I think definitely. I mean, I am always open to meeting new people, and during COVID, it's become incredibly hard for all of us. And so for me, I think that was one of the good good aspects of the positive impact it had on my mental health. I was still getting to interact with more people, and despite the fact that we were in a lockdown, I could build a relationship with someone new, and I think it would mean a lot more to the Sherpies, because they are the ones who need more guidance here, and they are at that stage where they should be meeting more people, and definitely I think STEM has helped there.
Awesome. I love the enthusiasm as well. As you talk about it, I can tell that you've had a lovely time on the program. So thank you again for sharing your thoughts on it, and hopefully you'll continue sort of volunteering with us beyond the partnership as well. So yeah, thanks, Sumya. We're now going to move on to our final live speaker, who is Sauda Onanuga, who's been a mentee on the program. Hi, Sauda. How are you today?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. How's everyone? Hope everyone's doing well.
Thank you. Do you want to share sort of a few details on when you joined the program, how it's been for you, and maybe where you're at now as well, just to compare?
Definitely. So yeah, I was part of the 2016 cohort. So that's nearly 6 years, 5, 6 years.
Yeah.
So it was a while ago, but definitely something I still remember and I still value. I'm currently working as a platform engineer. It's
Lovely.
it's a realm of software engineering that I'm quite new to, but yeah, I'm learning, I'm getting to grips with it. It's very interesting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Lovely. And yeah, tell us a little bit more about maybe your experience, and how do you think, how did the program affect you at the time and beyond that mentoring?
So I joined the program at the start of my degree, and I think I was being paired with someone who has done that and is working kind of gave me direction, gave me guidance, gave me a reassurance that I can do things and I'm going to be okay. I didn't realize it at the time, but I think having people to guide you and support you is invaluable. And someone to go to ask questions like, how do I do this and how do I do that? Can you look at my CV? How do I get experience and things like that? It definitely helped. Like I said, I didn't realize it at the time, but looking back, these are the things that really positively influenced my degree and then helped me in terms of professional kind of development as well. So I'm definitely grateful for that.
Awesome, amazing. And do you know anyone else that's been on the program? And also, like, whilst you were there, how was your experience? Because you did the one where you were actually meeting physically, so you had some of the networking events as well. How was your interaction with sort of the rest of the cohort as well? How did that feel?
That was good. It was lovely meeting other young girls and women. I think, especially when you are in the male-dominated field, it's just refreshing and reassuring to meet other people like you, that you can relate to in terms of what you're doing, but also just with normal things like, oh, you like shoes and stuff as well, like food. But yeah, definitely having that support system. I still talk to people and are in contact with people that I did the cohort with. So Liba, who isn't with us today, is someone who I was in the same cohort with, went to the States to the Grace Hopper celebration together. I will never forget that. That was life-changing. I know it sounds cliche, but it was so cool to see yourself in this amazing convention. It was amazing. So yeah, still keep in contact with people. Hannah as well is someone who I will probably message today actually. Yeah, I probably will. Yeah, we all keep in contact. So yeah, it's an amazing experience.
You were also one of the lucky winners, like you said, of the conference. Share like your favorite memory with us or something, because I know that was an amazing experience for you as well.
Yeah, so I think there were a few things. First of all, meeting everyone and everyone being really nice. Because I was a bit concerned, like, oh, is everyone gonna like me? Like, I don't know. But everyone was lovely. And then actually getting on the plane and going to Texas, I was like, am I doing this? Like, this is so crazy. And then there was another big point I remember is when we walked into this massive like conference hall, and there's just loads of like people and companies, and it was like a techie dream. It was so fun.
Overwhelming, right?
Yeah, overwhelming in a good way. And
Mhm.
then speaking to other people who just wanted to speak to you, and like there was like loads of cool like activities you could do and loads of swag. Oh my gosh, the swag.
I know. I know. I always saw the swag in the office. The team also always brought lots from the conference. But yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. I think it's so empowering to see so many women, right, in the room,
Yes.
doing something that you love. That's usually sort of like a portrayed and factually a male-dominated industry as well. So
Exactly.
yeah, I'm sure it must have been very inspiring for you. Is there anything
Amazing.
else that you want to share before I let you go? Or maybe just like I asked Orlan before as well, if you've got any sort of words that you'd like to share with your previous mentor, if they're watching this back.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think that's obviously the obvious thing to say, but thank you for the guidance and the support that you gave me that I didn't appreciate maybe as much at the time, but I definitely think back and go, oh my gosh, Chloe was really nice to me, really sweet to me, and really helped me kind of with my education and my career. So thank you so much.
It's lovely to see you as well, sort of in a tech role now, building up your own career and continuing with that. So it's super encouraging for us and for everyone else, I'm sure, watching. So thank you, Sauda.
Thank
And
you.
I'm sure I'll see you soon.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks. Awesome. That was all of our live speakers for today. So again, thank you all for sharing your amazing experiences and sort of real life case studies of how your time was spent on the program. We're now going to move on to video messages. We've got some messages to share with you, and I'm going to let our producer sort of kick off with these videos. So take it away, please.
Of this experience because I got to gain lots of career insight into like the job that I wanted to go into. And my mentor has been like a really good person. She's really helpful and really supportive. And I've been able to talk to her about pretty much everything. And it's just been a really nice experience to gain that insight and have someone that I can speak to and just like help to improve my confidence and just my networking skills in general.
With my mentor, similar to what I think Darren said, I had a lot of different developments with my CV. It now represents my professional and academic career a lot better. And I think through the conversations we were having on things like university, job choices, and just avenues and possible things that we could go into was so useful because it was an honest conversation. It was unbiased. It wasn't pushing an agenda to say, oh, let's go to this school or something like that. And I really appreciated that. Thank you.
But generally, it's just been a joy to see my mentee grow in maturity from trying to arrange our very first meeting to how she conducts herself now, and keeping me informed all the time. We've had lots of fun, especially with the icebreaker questions early on and taking our selfies. So we've had a lot of fun as well. And I think one of the things she's really got out of this is that we've produced a really unique CV, which largely she has sort of decided on the format, and the only things I've helped her with is put things on there that she maybe thought were not really points of interest to people, but actually they are. For example, languages, not necessarily a STEM thing, but it's definitely something she should be proud of and she should be putting on her CV. So hopefully, she's got a really good, strong, unique CV, which will stand out from her peers when she gets around to applying for internships, which is one of her goals. She's taught me to listen, which has helped me with my own relationship with my teenage son, who's also quite close in age to her. I've managed to connect with an old friend to do some more research about the career path that she wanted to go down, so I have to thank her for that. And it's also been really nice to speak to and share mentoring experience with the other mentors, especially as this was the first time I was doing this. But I hope that I've given her the tools and tips to go and find out whatever she needs to reach any of her future goals. I hope that we do keep in touch and remain friends.
I really enjoyed my second stint on this program. I was absolutely delighted when my mentee Ruhi decided she was going to go and apply to study technology, because that's what I did. So it meant I could really help with that. We spent a lot of time, like others did, on personal statements, and it was really rewarding to see that come through into something that was kind of really accomplished and showed all the great things she'd done so far. The other highlight really for me was that I got to learn more about engaging with people that are quite a bit younger than me. So I learned a lot too. Really one of the things I want to focus on is encouraging people like the people on this program to go into STEM and technology, and Ruhi was able to advise me how to make career talks more exciting for students and things like that. So that was a fantastic outcome as well for me. Thank you.
Amazing. That was lovely. And just to reiterate, we heard from 2 mentees first and then 2 mentors. And in chronological order, that was Leah, Leona, Janal, and Sarah. So thank you all for, again, sharing those experiences. It's so heartwarming to hear how everyone's benefited from the program. Now, just before we sort of finish things off, we've got some amazing mentee quotes as well to share with you from the program. So this has been collected throughout the program through our feedback forms. I'm going to read out some of them. So one of them saying, "It was great to have someone to talk about the future regularly that was separate from everyday life. It gave me a boost and something to work towards and look forward to. Lockdown has been tough on everyone. It gets tough to switch off and have a break without feeling guilty. STS helped me give time to just chat with my mentor like a friend about uni, careers, and goals that helped better me skill-wise, but also with my mental well-being too. I've entered the Undergraduate of the Year Award for Sustainable Thinking 2021 and have reached the top 10 students for the final. I would never have entered without the support and encouragement of my mentor to give it a go." Then we've had another mentee share that they've had an amazing time and honestly did not expect to connect so well with you. You've really made the program enjoyable and taught me so much about something I'm really interested in a fun, interactive manner. And then last but not least, I didn't expect to have such a mental health boost from having the support and encouragement of my mentor. Lovely. It's so lovely to hear all these messages and know how much positive impact the program has had on the young participants. Let's move on to some mentor quotes now, because the mentors have also shared their feedback with us and how positively impacted they have been from the different sessions. So, being a mentor has supported my mental well-being and has left me feeling inspired. There's an energy from students who are so keen to learn and try new things, which just gives you more energy. That's lovely as well to hear. My mentee was very engaged and inspirational. It's amazing how the younger generation are very self-aware and motivated. Another mentor shared that I've built my own confidence as a mentor and learned that my life experiences are valuable. I've learned to listen wholeheartedly and to not advise, but to enable the mentee to figure out what they want on their own. And last but not least, it's a good feeling knowing that you have made a difference to someone, and I will look for other ways I can continue to do that. Gosh, all of these messages are really, really inspiring me, and I hope that it inspires you as well. So without further ado, we are bringing this partnership to a close. 8 years of mentorship, all of these hours spent, and all the effort and energy poured into this program to come out with amazing participants that have gained lots of knowledge, confidence, awareness, and network of the STEM industries and beyond. But we are continuing to do so at STEMet. So as much as the partnership has now come to an end with Deutsche Bank, and we thank Deutsche Bank endlessly for the 8 years spent with us, we do still have chances for you to get involved. So to make a difference with us, you can contact us at mentoring@stemetfutures.org. Whether you're from Deutsche Bank or an external company, you can sign up to be a mentor with us on any of our programs upcoming if you'd like to also be part of the difference and the positive impact. So don't hesitate to reach out to us on that email, so mentoring@stemetfutures.org. Do we have another slide? And then, of course, get social with us. So remember to share and interact with us on social media. So we are on Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. I do believe we have a TikTok now as well, if you are into TikTok. So you can find us there with the handles @STEMets every time. Retweet, share. If you've watched this video and it's inspired you in some way, make sure that you also let us know using these handles and the different hashtags we've got. You can also still use the International Women's Day 2022 hashtag because it is International Women's Month all month long. Amazing. And I think that brings us to the end of today. I'm just wondering if anyone has any questions. I might wait a second for any questions to come in. Mentees and mentors that are on the call as well that have shared their messages live. If you have any questions that you'd like me to answer or anything that you'd like to share, and I'll read out for you before we close off, please pop it in the chat. But yeah, other than that, again, for the 1,000th time, we'd like to say thank you to all mentees, all mentors, and the extra volunteers that have joined us across the 8 years with Deutsche Bank. And above all, obviously, thanking Deutsche Bank for the participation and for everything that's been put into these 8 years of partnership for the STS mentorship program. So Student to STEMet, Deutsche Bank, loads of cohorts, 8 years in the making. And this is where we are now with loads of positive impact and lots of young participants inspired and now actually going into, their own ways of mentoring. Maybe they will start being mentors rather than mentees to other people. And we can't wait to see what they'll be up to in the near and far future. Amazing. I think that brings us to the end. So please don't forget to keep up with us on stemets.org, on all of our social media channels as well. If there are no more questions, we will bring the event to a close. And we thank you for joining us today. And again, thank you, Deutsche Bank. Thank you for the Born to Be initiative as well. And thank you for the 8 years of joint effort to inspire young minds. I wish you all a lovely weekend and take care. Bye, everyone.